everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I have a quick one for you guys today. In my last video I mentioned that I have a fridge that I want to cover with contact paper, and here it is. As you can see, it's pretty old. It's yellow in some places. It has some rust stains at the front. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and cleaned it off with some soap and water, and I let it dry. And then I took out my contact paper that I cut in half because it was just too long and it was difficult to work with. So I just cut it in half, and I just found out that the line I cut was not straight, so I have to trim it again. So here I am just trimming off a little bit of the top. So the rule of thumb with any DIY is that you measure twice and you cut only once. So before you cut your contact paper, make sure that you've measured your fridge over and over again, so that you're sure that you have enough paper there. And luckily there is a grid right at the back of that paper to show you where the straight lines are, so that's very helpful. I'm just positioning the paper so that there's a little bit left over on both ends, at the back and the front, so I can fold it over those corners. This paper peels off so easily, you guys, so be careful when you do this step. You only want to peel off a little bit at a time, and you're just gonna position it how you did it the first time, only this time you're gonna really stick it on there. So as you can see, you're just gonna take your plastic card or your bank card, and you're gonna use it to smooth the paper over the fridge. Now, because I peeled off quite a large bit at the back there, I got a crease very early on, which shouldn't happen. So what I'm doing is I am lifting the paper back up and I'm starting over again. And I'm just going with my bank card and slowly smoothing it over the fridge so that there's no air bubbles and no more creases there. You want to be really careful with this step, you guys, because if you want your fridge to look professional and smooth by the end, it's very, very important to straighten out those creases and get rid of any air bubbles at all. I don't know if you guys can see clearly there, but as I'm going down with the bank card, I'm slowly pulling the grid paper down as well, so that I have more sticky surface to work with. So as I go along with the bank card, I'm also pulling down the grid paper at the back. Now I'm taking a damp cloth and I'm just smoothing it out to make sure everything is stuck in place and there are no air bubbles there. This is gonna help in the final product, you guys, so don't miss anything, don't try to rush anything, and please don't try to shortcut anything. Now, as you guys can see, anytime I get an air bubble or a crease, I just lift the paper over the affected area and smooth it back down with my bank card and my damp cloth. You're gonna do this until you reach the bottom of the fridge. Now, if there's any excess at the top where you started pasting, you're gonna need a blade or a box cutter to just very precisely trim off those edges, and take paper off as you go along so that you can see if it's in a straight line and is framing those trims perfectly. Now, for the corners, what you want to do is open the door of the fridge and make sure that there are no air bubbles over those corners with your bank card. Pull the paper towards you a little bit, and then fold it over those corners. Smooth it over with your bank card and your damp cloth. Continue in the same way until you reach the bottom. So once you finish one side of the fridge, you can finish the whole fridge using the same technique, but I'm showing you guys the front because I did have to put it widthways, as the paper wasn't wide enough to cover both the front and the edges if I put it lengthwise. So you can see that there's a gap at the bottom, but because the print is very busy, it really didn't matter much. There was no visible line once I put that bottom piece on there as well. In the interest of keeping this video short, I did go ahead and finish that bottom part and the top door of the fridge off camera. But you guys, look at this fridge. I am so pleased with it. I'm so happy with it. I mean, I knew it would look good, but I had no idea it would look this good. It looks like it was bought like this. It's so fresh, it's so new, and it's just my personality because it's a little bit funky but muted at the same time. So I love this. As you can see, I did cut out a part for the logo out of the contact paper, but that was not hard. This DIY was even easier than I thought it would be, so you guys will have no problem with that at all. Thank you guys so very much for watching and for your support. Please do pass it on. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification button so that you will get reminders when I do post. Thank you so very much. I'll see you on the next one.